Hi guys, this is Anamika. Welcome back to Anamika Reflects. Been such a long time. I really wanted to make this video for international students. What are the non-academic things you need to know as an international student? Yes, there's a big component of coming here studying, but there's also a lot of other things outside the academics that I think it's really important for every international student to know. I wish I knew them before I came here or just before I started my school. So the first one is, if you're in Nepal or any other country and you're preparing to go to United States, you've got your visa and you do have some extra time, maybe like 5-6 months to come here, or maybe you're like just preparing to go and you have a lot of spare time, I would really suggest you to get some kind of skills. Maybe it's photography, maybe it's using Excel, using VLOOKUP on Excel, something, designing a website, something like that, so it's easier for you to get an on-campus job here. The second thing is, you're coming from a different country and the first thing would be, where are you gonna stay? So there's like two things students usually do. One is stay in the school, the residence life in the dorms, or they stay outside the school in apartments with their friends, people they know. I would really suggest each of you coming here, if you're an international student, to stay on campus for at least a year. And I say this because you are coming to a whole different country, you're learning a new culture, there's so many things that you still have to get acquainted with. There's so many things you still need to know, and staying on campus can really provide you that. It's also a great way to network with local students, local professors, because you're more on campus. Now I know living on campus can be really costly, so I would suggest at least 6 months live on campus, and if you really have to move out of that, move out after that. There's also opportunities like resident assistant. I myself was a resident assistant for the 3 years. Being a resident assistant, you don't have to pay for the food or the dorm, anything. It's the school pays for it, and it's basically you taking care of other residents, doing some programs. So also look into that opportunity of being a resident assistant. There's also a teaching assistant, those kind of position, teaching assistant or a tutor that you can become if you get like good grades. When you come to United States, there's this thing called Social Security number. In shortcut, it's called SSN. It's a really important number that identifies each individual. Everybody in America has a social security number. It's the number that you use to build your credit. It's needed for you to get paid. It's needed for a lot of things. If you really want to take an apartment, you might need a social security number. So that's a really important number to have. So when you come here, try to get an on-campus job right away so you can get your social security number. The easiest way to do it is through the on-campus job. So talking about other on-campus jobs, there's a lot of on-campus jobs in any university setting. You can work in the security, working desk, you can work in the vice president's office as an assistant, you can work in media, you can work in the cafeteria. So working outside campus on cash or something that's not related to your major is not allowed. It's quote-unquote illegal. But working on campus, maybe it's not related to your major, you're just working in the caf, swiping cards, it's legal, and you can work 20 hours a week on campus. Summertime, where you're not in school, you can work up to 40 hours on campus. Kind of gives you a decent amount of money for you to save, maybe your pocket money. So there's a lot of on-campus jobs. You just need to be in a lookout. There's also like different universities have their internal job portal, like C Jobs, Handshake. You might apply there, but I feel the best way is just go to the hiring manager. Suppose you know you want to work in the CAF, go to the director of CAF, say, hey, I'd really like to work here, like really network yourself, or go to any department, go talk to any professor you know. Sometimes they might just open up a position for you. Another thing is about driving in America. So if you have Nepal's license or maybe an international license, please do bring it. In many of the cases that I've seen for my friends, they only needed to do a written exam. Like a written exam, you just have to know maybe if you're in New Jersey's laws, and then you're gonna be quizzed, and then you'll get your license really easily. Suppose you don't have a license, you have to take a written exam first and a road test second. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Another thing is about choosing your subject. And I'm going to tell you how this is non-academic. Is studying different majors can impact how much you can work in United States after you graduate. So what I mean by that is there's something called STEM majors. So it's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if your major is regarded as STEM, you get an additional 2 years to work after you graduate. So everybody gets a year. It's called OPT, optional practical training. But if you're studying a major that's STEM designated, so how do you find out if it's STEM? I'm gonna give the link down below. There's a list of courses that the USCIS, the US Immigration, has regarded as STEM and not STEM. So if it's STEM, just find your major on that list. It should be really clear. It's going to be down in the link below. So really a key thing to keep in mind as an international student is to study a STEM major. It depends on the university, but even the economics program can be STEM. You just have to talk to your director of international student services to find out if it's STEM or if it's not. Try to go for STEM. Don't be disheartened if your major is not STEM. There's a lot of ways to go about that too, but I just feel you should know there's additional benefit of working extra 2 years if you are a STEM major. The US universities have an education system that kind of lets you study how much you want. By that I mean, like, if you want, you can study really well. You might get A's, you might, even take additional courses from other universities. There's ways to do about that. You might get into research, you might do a lot of things more than just getting an A. That depends on you. Or you might just, just do well in classes, not study that much, but try to do internship or do other things. So it's totally like how much you want to study. And another big thing, if you're really looking to work in United States after you finish your degree, is to do internships, co-ops while you're in school. So what is an internship? It's an opportunity for you to go and work in a company, do not like a full-time employee job, but maybe like a fraction of it, so you know how it feels to maybe work in a lab, work in a law firm, work in a hospital. Internships are really important because as a student, if you're interning for a company, you can really network and get a job right after you graduate. That's what I did, and I personally am a strong believer of doing more internships. At least try to do 1 internship, 2 internship while you're in school. If not, at least some form of internship. Maybe it's a virtual, something like that. If you have more than 3 internships while you're in school, there's high chances that you're gonna get hired right after school. Trust me on this. I feel the major factor that I got job even before I graduated was because I did really well in my internship. The hospital was impressed and they offered me a job. Always look to network. There's always going to be job fairs on campus. There's always going to be somebody who kind of knows somebody. Try to network and land yourself at least an internship. In Nepal or any other country, people, your parents know people, they can vouch for you, they can really talk about your skills. But here nobody kind of knows you. You're coming from a different country, so it's really important that you network for yourself. Nobody knows you, nobody knows anything about you, your parents are not here, so it's really important you go up to certain people, take that initiative to go and talk to them, to ask about their company. It's called informational interview. don't ask for an opportunity. Ask about, hey, I saw this about your company, this new policy. What do you think? Just have like a decent conversation and try to network with as many people as you can. If especially you're in college, I would say put aside like 30 minutes just to network with people. Networking can really take you a long way. There's this website called LinkedIn. It's almost Facebook, but a very professional way. Make a LinkedIn profile today. Make a LinkedIn profile, add people from your school, reach out to people, talk. LinkedIn is a great people finder. If you're looking to do internship, let's say in Microsoft, Tesla, look at students from your native country who have done that internship. Message them, talk to them. They are the ones who can really guide you. And the first thing is to really take that initiative and network. Network with everybody you can. Network every day. Since you don't have your family here, a big chunk of your life is gonna be your friends, because those are the people you're gonna be with 24/7. Wherever you live, you're gonna live with people as the same age group as you. It's really important that you pick good friends. I never realized this. Like, our parents always tell us make good friends, have good company, but I realized it myself when I came here. I always used to think, I can be friends with anybody, but now I realize like why it's so important to pick right friends. And I'm gonna give you an example. Suppose you live in this apartment, right? And always your friends are smoking and drinking, and you don't do that at all. You do your own thing. But maybe over the years, your degree is almost 4 years here today, any program 4 years or more. So over like maybe 1 year you don't smoke, 1 year you don't drink, right? But there might come a day where you're so tired and you just want to gel, you're gonna pick up that cigarette. Like, it's just how the surrounding affects us. And let me talk about another apartment where people are talking about networking events, people are talking about doing internships, and you might not be like very proactive about that, but just hearing them, you might be inspired. And also like one day they might say, hey Anamika, like there's an internship in my company, why don't you just apply? You apply to it and your friends are already there and you get that internship. That internship might be your full-time job. It might be the job that sponsors you a green card. You never know. So really important to surround yourself with friends that add great value to your life. United States has a lot of immigration laws and policies in place. Everything you do has to be in compliance with the immigration law. That's how you kind of protect or maintain your status. And just keep in mind, if you're doing an internship, you're changing your address, you're moving somewhere, you should let the director of the International Student Services know. He has to keep maintaining your record so everything is in a good stand. If you're confused about anything, please ask the director of International Student Services. I hope this video was really helpful. This kind of gave you a broader perspective of studying in the United States. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. If there's a way I can personally help you with getting an internship, looking at your resume, cover letter, please feel free to reach out to me. Comment down below. We can email each other. I'd love to help any international student. We all are in this new country and we really have to build and help each other. Thank you so much for listening to me. Like, share, and subscribe, and have a good day. Bye bye.